Welcome to the 18th meeting of the Latin American and Caribbean Competition Forum. Let me start by thanking the Inter-American Development Bank for our partnership in this long-lasting venture going back to 2003. I would also like to thank you all for joining us today. Your ownership and enthusiastic support are the foundations of the forum's success and also of its longevity. Let me also add that we look forward to meeting physically next year in Rio de Janeiro at our next forum to be hosted by Brazil's Conselho Administrativo de Defesa Econômica, CADE. This year's forum will focus on the important topic of digital evidence gathering in cartel investigations. We will also peer review Ecuador's competition law and its competition policies. Let me congratulate the government of Ecuador for its hard work and their willingness to submit to such a rigorous examination. Like others before you, I am confident that this review will bring tangible benefits to Ecuador, laying the ground for important reforms. Now, we're living in uncertain times. Our latest economic outlook, we released it only about 10 days ago, projects the global GDP to fall by 4.5% this year, and then to pick up by about 5% in 2021. However, output in many countries will still be below the pre-crisis level even at the end of 2021, and certainly well below what was projected prior to the pandemic. Many governments have taken unprecedented measures to keep people at work, children learning, societies functioning. We're seeing countries implement enormous stimulus packages to minimize the medium to long-term damage that this shock is causing to the economy. These efforts require multidimensional policy responses from governments, from fiscal and monetary policies to trade and industrial policies, among others. The pandemic presents unparalleled challenges for competition authorities and competition enforcement. Authorities around the world have learned that they must respond quickly and decisively to these rapidly evolving situations. Looking ahead, they will have a paramount role to play in helping our economies and our societies exit the COVID-19 crisis. Now, let me briefly outline some examples. Authorities need to balance pro-competitive efficiencies and anti-competitive effects, as well as protect consumers suffering from this crisis, all of the above, while upholding the basic objectives of competition law. In addition, collaboration between competitors may be necessary during crises to increase the production or distribution of certain essential products, or coordinate the provision of essential services. Recently, we have witnessed important efforts along this front in our own region. For example, the Brazilian government in July 2020 clarified which agreements between competitors could be considered as lawful during the COVID-19 crisis, and defined the duration and the narrow scope for the legality of these agreements. Another example from Colombia. From March to June 2020, the Superintendencia de Industria y Comercio sent 182 official requests of information to firms and held 56 virtual audiences to monitor price increases and detect possible anti-competitive practices, as well as prosecute abuses in pricing policies. Our competition authorities have also played an important role in ensuring that governments respect the principle of competitive neutrality when designing and implementing state support. This includes equity assistance programs, as well as informing governments' exit strategies to ensure that exiting from ongoing support measures is done in a way that promotes competition. The OECD remains dedicated to supporting these efforts. Last November, we launched the OECD Regional Center for Competition in Latin America, a joint venture between the OECD and Peru's Instituto Nacional de Defensa de la Competencia y de la Protección de la Propiedad Intelectual, el INDECOPI. The center provides timely training to competition officials throughout the region, including most recently on COVID-19 related issues, such as competition in the health sector, competition advocacy, and emergency procurement. In less than a year, these training activities have connected hundreds of competition officials from more than 20 jurisdictions. So besides the training, they create these very useful networks. And I strongly encourage you to participate in the activities of the Lima Center. The OECD has also been actively supporting our members and our partners throughout the COVID-19 crisis. As part of our response, we launched a digital hub on tackling the coronavirus, providing a single entry point to the OECD's analysis on the economic and social, environmental, governance impacts of COVID-19. To date, we have published over 140 policy briefs in virtually every area of our policy work, including, of course, on competition policy. The hub has already received more than 1 million unique visitors. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to think boldly whether competition is helping us enough to address the complex challenges resulting for the crisis, whether it is contributing as bravely, as effectively as could be possible. So let's keep up our fruitful collaboration. Let's keep enriching our work to tackle this crisis and build the post-COVID-19 world in a fairer, more inclusive, more sustainable manner. Together, we can build back better. Thank you.